Today, we'll be solving literal equations. When we do literal equations, we'll be solving for a specific variable. Problem number 1. D equals R times T. Solve for T. So that means that we're trying to get T on the side by itself. 5 equals 4T. Let's look at something that you might be a little bit more familiar with. And I ask you to solve for T. You will first box in the variable that you're solving for. In order to get T by itself, 4 will have to move to the other side. Since this is multiplication, we will have to do the opposite, which will be division. So we'll divide both sides by 4. My 4's cross out, and we have T equals 5 divided by 4. And I like for my variables to be on the left, so T equals 5/4. So this might be something that you're familiar with. We will do this problem the same way like we did this one. So now let's go back to our regular scheduled problem. D equals RT. We want to solve for T. So I will box in my T. We're not going to touch the T because we want it by itself. So since we're multiplying, we will divide both sides by R. What we do to one side, we do to the other side. My R's cross out. T equals D divided by R. And we are finished. Check. Problem number 2. I equals PRT. Solve for R. This is similar to the problem that we just finished. We want R by itself, so I'm going to box in what I want by itself. Since this is multiplication, the opposite would be division. So we have a P and a T that does not need to be on that side. So since we're all multiplying, I'm going to divide not one side but both sides by PT. And remember, what you do to one side, you do to both sides. So now R is on the side by itself. Okay? And you are finished. You are finished with problem number 2. Okay? Problem number 3. Y equals, please excuse the noise in the background. Y equals mx plus b. Solve for x. That means we want x by itself. So we will have to move the m and the b. Remember our rules when we're solving for variables. You always do your addition or subtraction first, and then you will do your multiplication and division. So since we have added here first, we're going to move the b. Since it's a plus b, the opposite will be subtract b. Remember, we're doing the opposite. What we do to one side, we do to the other side. So my b's cross out. On the left side, I have y minus b is equal to m times x. Mx is multiplication. The opposite will be division. Are we going to divide the x or the m? Remember, we want x by itself. So we're going to divide by the m. So x equals y over m minus b over m. And I like for my variables to be on the left that I'm solving for. So I'm just going to rewrite my problem. And we are done. Okay? Moving right along to problem number 4, quattro. Y equals M divided by B, and we're solving for M. Since we are dividing in this problem, we must get rid of that dividing sign. In order to get rid of the dividing sign, we will multiply the left and the right by the denominator. In this problem, my denominator is B. So I will multiply the right and the left by B. These cross out because they're reciprocals, and we have BY is equal to M. And one step took care of this problem. So M is equal to BY. And we are done. My last problem for part 1. P equals 2x plus 2y. Solve for x. This problem could be done 2 ways. So I'm going to show you the first way, and then I will show you the second way. It is your preference as to which way you would like to do it. So P equals 2x plus 2y. Okay? What I would do first is I'm going to take out my GCF, which is 2. Because I have it in both of them. Now we want x by itself. So I'm going to divide, because this is multiplication here, both sides by 2. So P divided by 2 is equal to x plus y. I want x by itself, so I will subtract both sides by y. So P over 2 minus y is equal to x. And I'm just going to rewrite it. This is the first way to solve this problem. The second way, P equals 2x plus 2y. I'm going to do my subtracting because I want this 2y on the left side. So I'm going to subtract, because it's positive, the left and the right by 2y. These cross out, and we have P minus 2y is equal to 2x. X is not by itself, so I'm going to divide, because it's multiplication, both sides by 2. So P divided by 2 minus 2y divided by 2 is equal to x. If I look here, this answer is not like my answer that I have over here, because we have to simplify this one. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So this becomes P over 2 minus y. So x is equal to P divided by 2 minus y. And guess what? They're both the same. You can pick and choose which way you would like to do it. Okay? So this is the end of part 1 of literal equations. Please do not forget to watch part 2. Stay tuned.